Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? It's Cool Colas here to bring you the hustler's perspective. Hope you guys are having a good day today. I am making the third out of 7 videos for this week. So this video should be pretty interesting, and hopefully you guys will get a chance to learn something pretty cool from what I have to say today. But I want to tell you all about 7 ways that time, and your time specifically, is more valuable than money. So before I get into what the my reasons and the 7 ways I feel it's more valuable, I kind of want to tell you all what made me want to just talk about this video in general and put it out to you guys. First of all, I think this is for all the people who want to live a hustle lifestyle. So it kind of tells you the difference in the balance that it would take for you to really understand what that's all about. And I think understanding why time is more valuable than money is an important concept in understanding how the hustle pretty much works. I also want to help others see the value in time in their lives and how that definitely plays a big role in their day-to-day life and, like I said, the balance of their life. I also want to stop this stigma that people assume having a lot of money is going to solve all of their problems by discussing the reasons why I feel time is more valuable than just having a lot of money in general, and how having a lot of money doesn't necessarily stop your problems, although it could depend on your knowledge. I also want to talk about what good is it if you just have a lot of money but then you don't have the time to know exactly what you're doing with your money as well too. When at the end of the day, I think when it comes down to it, time allows you to make your dreams happen, while money is simply a tool for utility. So money can really assist you, but ultimately it is your time that you're using in order to change things for the way that you see them fit. So with that being said, I kind of want to get into some of the ways that I feel time is more important than money. So I want to kind of break it down for you guys so you understand my train of thought and why I feel this way about these things specifically. So the first thing I want to tell you all about is, and this is the first way I think time is more valuable, is that I think time gives you an opportunity to research and read on your passion. So I think, for one, time allows you to look up information and start putting in the work that you need to put in. So that's something that money cannot do for you. Money can possibly buy certain tools that you will need to get further in the work that you're trying to do, but it will not give you, like I said, the utility to actually look up information and study what you are passionate about, and understand how much work it will take for you to get to where you want to get to, and then to start putting in the work. It also allows you to gain knowledge and to know how to use your money. So having the time will give you that ability to, like I said, study all the stuff that you want to learn, and then you can take the money that you actually have and use it. But again, it's not really a tool that's designed to give you the, like I said, utility to be able to look stuff up. The other thing I kind of wanted to tell you all about this first point is that it gives you the opportunity to be the best that you can at the thing that you're passionate about. Again, money will not give you that. Now, money can possibly give you maybe the utility to go for a course or for a book or for something that could help you instructionally. But again, ultimately is your time, and the time that you spend searching to understand how you can get these things in the best way possible. So really, even then, even if you are like using your money to spend it on some of these resources, ultimately is your time that has helped you decide that you need to, like I said, devote time so that you can get better at what you're doing. So the second point that I want to kind of mention here as to why I feel time is more important than money is that I want to just point out that, you have to understand, what good is money if you don't have time to use it. So I'm more so pointing out the fact that with money just sitting there, you have to think about how useful it can be without having the time to just understand what you need to do with it. So first of all, I think there's this cycle that people are working 12, 13, 14 hours a day, and then they're working that for 7 days a week. And I think that cycle has to end at some point. And the reason why is because I think a lot of people are working like a dog, and they have a lot of money, but then they have absolutely no time to be able to research their passion or their hobby or what it is that they actually like doing. And again, I want to kind of throw out this disclaimer because I said it a little bit earlier. I'm saying this for people who enjoy the hustle or want to get into the hustle game, and I'm saying this for people who want to live a different lifestyle than others or in a lot of other people who they know. So this is for people, like I said, who aren't satisfied with what they have right now and they want to get somewhere different. Anyway, so I also want to point out that you won't have a lot of time to acquire financial knowledge again if you're just busy making money. So you need that time to be able to sleep and to recharge. And again, that has nothing absolutely to do with this concept of time versus money, but this is just straight off of making money. So again, you actually need time so that you can make that money and so that you have the energy in order to go forward and like I said, put your best foot forward while you're making your money. So that has to do with money specifically. So time is even needed just for the idea of making money. The other thing too is that you need time because you need to be able to invest in your business ventures and the start off investments that it's going to need. So like I said, time is going to definitely be required for that. And if you just have a lot of money, then I mean, it's going to be torture for you because you know the business ventures that you want to participate in, that you want to like accomplish, but then you have no time, but you have money. So the thing is that knowing that you don't have time, but you have the resources to know what it is that you want to do can be very frustrating. So I just kind of I'm trying to get people out of that mindset that they need to just work all the time and then not really take any time to understand what they would need to do to go forward with their business ideas and, like I said, their passions and things like that. For the third point, I want to emphasize that you need to recharge. And that's another reason why time is more important than money. So time gives you that ability to recharge so that you can continue to move on and move forward and hustle. So you won't be able to perform at your best without rest. So again, I'm not trying to rhyme or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of just make that point. It just happened to rhyme at that moment. But anyway, so I think time allows you to do that. Also, too, I think the focus on money can be kind of tiring over time. So I think there's this big idea that making a lot of money is going to be the ultimate goal. But then everybody always talks about making more money and then working hard to make more money. But then there's no like end point. There's no what am I doing with all this money that I made? And like I said, like having that time to kind of like recharge, you're really like losing that on top of losing the fact that you're not taking the time to try to figure out what it is that you want to do with your money. So again, I'm kind of referencing like an old point, but I'm just saying that you need your time to recharge so you can go and you can make that money. But then like if you don't have it, it can be very tiring, especially if you're really out there and you're doing your thing. Next thing is I think that you won't have the capacity to function as a hustler if you don't have the time to recharge. So where you think that you may be able to just go and make money and then at some point you feel that you can just start your hustle, it just doesn't work like that. Tomorrow will never come, and I think that a lot of people haven't realized that yet. Everybody always says, I'm going to eventually do this, I'm going to eventually do that. It's just not a priority to you if you feel that way. So I think the main thing that you have to understand is that a lot of that has to do with like just recharging and being able to rest and having that ability to go out and get what it is that you want to get. The next thing I think is that you need to reward yourself with rest in order to keep going as well too. So you need to look at it in a way where recharging is you rewarding yourself that ability to continue to strive towards your goal. And without time, you're not going to have that ability to do that. Also, you got to replace the batteries. That's just the bottom line. I mean, like, think about it. Whenever you had a Game Boy, I'm just giving you an example, a Game Boy, you would have, and this is like the old school Game Boy Color from Nintendo. For any of you, like I said, who've had this before, you would be playing the little. You put the cartridge in, you'd be playing the game for a couple hours or so, and like maybe you played it like a couple days before, and you just played it continuously for hours every single day. At some point, if you all realize, you all had that red light that told you that it was about to run out of batteries. So then you have to go and you have to replace it with some new batteries. Well, essentially, your body and the way you function as a human works the same way. So you have batteries, you kind of have a battery pack, and really that's kind of parallel to your rest, or your level of rest, I guess is probably a better way to put it. And when your level of rest, which is like hours of sleep that you have gotten per day or hours that you have gotten per week or whatever it is, if it's low, then your battery inside of you is going to tell you, hey, I need to recharge. And it tells you that because you're like falling asleep, or you're drowsy, or you're tired, or you feel like, you don't really have any energy. So really, like, you're kind of going on that red light as well too, just like that game did. So you need to kind of think about it like that. So I kind of got a couple other cool points here for you on this. The next one I want to emphasize to you about time versus money is that time allows you the availability to create and also to innovate. So in other words, the go-getter lifestyle is kind of a package deal. So it involves literally innovating and creating. So it involves the process of knowing that there's ideas that are already out there in the world, and knowing that it is your responsibility as a hustler and as someone who is going to fulfill the passion that you want to fulfill, to actually create the thing that you have already innovated. So knowing that, like, there are certain things out there that have already been done, knowing that you may want to do something similar, and then just going out there to create exactly what it is you want to create. I also think that without the time to create and innovate, that money will never be able to be used properly. So, in other words, your money will just be sitting there. So, you need to give yourself the time to be able to figure out what it is that needs to be innovated, what you're passionate about that needs to be innovated, and then how to go about creating that going forward. Also, too, you should focus on trying to create a financial empire, and time allows you to focus on creating that empire. And creating and innovating, again, help you focus on creating that financial empire, because again, you're creating something for yourself. Well, you're innovating something, and then you're creating something for yourself that's yours, that you can say you kind of like added value to. So you're really adding value to your own empire, and you're adding value to the world as well too. So again, time does that for you. Money does not do that for you. So let's move on to the fifth point here. So you can always find and earn money, but time cannot be replaced. That's my next point. So I don't know if you all have ever heard people say some of these statements here, but these are kind of examples of people who a lot of times are wasting that time because they're more focused on money and more focused on that idea of having more. So here's the first statement I hear all the time, and I'm sure you do too. I'll only be working here temporarily. I can find something new and better. So a person who says something like that essentially is doing something for the moment, and then they're saying that they're going to wait on the perfect opportunity for them to get out and do something, a little bit different, but they don't really have a plan. You hear so many people with this, and I mean, it sounds normal because everybody seems to be doing it, but I mean, it's not. I guess like normal is probably not really the best terminology for it, but it sounds common, I guess is probably a better way to put it. It sounds common because everybody is always saying it, but really, if you're trying to live the lifestyle you want to live, you can't just wait on stuff to happen and just to fall into your lap. The second statement that I always hear is, I'm going to do this job until God can bless me with the opportunity that I want to. I mean, again, I'm not here to insult anybody religiously. I'm just here to just be honest. That's just not going to happen. I truly do not believe that if you are a person who believes in a higher being or a God, that they're just going to throw something into your lap once again because of the fact that you just prayed on it. I don't believe in that. So with that being said, I think that a lot of work needs to take place before that something like that could happen, could potentially happen. And again, that's another like waste of time mentality and just waiting for something to happen. The next thing in the other statement that I always hear is, I would do my own thing, but blank is holding me back from doing that. So blank can be filled in with a number of different excuses. The point is that it's an excuse, it's a waste of time, and it's also, like I said, a cop out for a person to have that same mentality of believing, oh, I'm just going to build up my money and I'm going to just continue to build it up. So basically, you're just doing stuff and you're just doing it over and over and over again. But again, there's no end goal. You don't know what you're doing with it. So next thing that I would say about this point in particular is these people are ultimate time wasters, like I said, and they prove how detrimental this line of thinking can be. So it's kind of like an endless cycle. So you believe this idea that finding and earning money is important, and then you miss out on all the time where you could be doing all this other stuff. So it's, like I said, it's very detrimental. The other thing too is that personal setbacks and expectancies can also eliminate this time as well too, because again, you're waiting for it to fall into your lap. So in the meantime, time is just getting just spent. So the other thing too is that you have a limited amount of time to make an impact as well too. And what I mean by that is, like, your life is short. So you want to make sure that you do everything that you can to make the most of it. So you shouldn't be doing that waiting on thing A, B, C, and D to happen. You should go out there and then you should get in and use your time in the way that it should be used. So here's point number 6 that I have for this. So spending hours earning money will put your focus only on money. So that's another reason why I feel time is more important, because this idea of earning money can actually snag your ability to even understand the importance of utilizing your time properly. So the first thing is that you, like I said, ignore that you need to devote time to your goals. So because of the fact that your focus is on money solely, you don't really get a chance to take that time and focus on the things that you're passionate about. The other thing too is that most individuals, I feel, have centered themselves on making money. So I feel like a lot of people, again, are just trying to create this image of the fact that they make money. So with that being said, I think another point that's important and should be emphasized for this point is a lot of people define their worth by the fact that they're a working person, or they're a hardworking person, or they're an educated person, which all in some way correlate to the idea of making money. And I think that it becomes a bragging and a selling point because it shows, a certain ethic and a certain effort from that people have put in to have some type of achievement, and so that they can either brag on the fact that they're a working person, or they can brag on the fact that they're educated. And I say educated in quotes because when I say educated, I don't mean like you read, you study, you research, you do things to be able to expand your horizon. When I say educated, and I say it in quotations because I'm saying it in a mimicking way. I say it based off of the fact that everybody believes they're educated as soon as they go to school, whether it's high school or they go to college and they get a degree, or they have a master's or a PhD. They believe that always makes them educated. So I'm describing that so you understand like where I'm coming from when I say this. So again, I don't want to get off topic. Again, I think that the people who are focused on things like that are focused on this idea of making money. Now, if you were to sit there and you were to brag about how and again, I say brag lightly because you really shouldn't be bragging at all. You can talk about yourself, but you shouldn't brag. I feel like that's a show of like overconfidence, but which is not always a good thing. But anyway, I think that if you were to talk about the fact that you were a hustler and that you were starting your business and doing this and doing that, I think that would be a better show of the fact that you were you're on the mindset or the mind frame of exercising your time versus exercising, like, what money you either make or money you either intend on making, which talking about how educated you are and being a working person only do. They don't necessarily talk about time unless it's dealing with how you kind of wasted it not working on your passion. Anyway, so also too, I think there's also this thing where I think a lot of us as people allow our bills to control the like the way that we think about time and money. I think a lot of people have like really heavy debts and really heavy expenses, which I'm again, I'm kind of like 50-50 on this topic. I feel like there's people who don't really have that type of education, that understanding to know that some of these expenses they really don't need. And I think there's some people who do know and they don't care anyway. At that point, it's their fault. But my point is that, like, I think that this focus and emphasis on bills and debts and goals has got everybody in the mindset that the most important thing is to make money, when the most important thing is to make sure that you use your time to make yourself as happy as possible. I think that's what people really need to realize, and the sooner the better. That's truly what I believe, and I think we need to teach children, especially, that concept later, so that in life that they have this mindset kind of like going in, and they're not struggling the same way. The next thing too, I think, is that you should utilize your time to level your focus. So, in other words, I think that as you focus on this idea of time, you're leveling your focus more and more as you think about it, because your focus more so becomes on trying to create the life that you want versus just making money just for the heck of making money or for the bragging rights of making money. So that's just my only point about that one. Now, here's the last one that I want to explain to you all. So I feel like, as far as time being more important than money, your life and mentality will be more healthy and more balanced when you understand that you need the time to regroup. So, in other words, I think balance is essential. It's essential in living a prosperous life. I think time will like run its course no matter what your status is. So I think it's important to utilize that time, while you can, to make your life as healthy and as convenient for yourself as possible. So, like I said, that when I say health, I don't mean that ambiguously. I mean pretty much every aspect. So, physically, mentally, emotionally, and even in your mindset. And I said mentally, but I think what I mean by mentally is making sure like you're sane and you're there. When I say, like, as far as your mindset goes, I mean, like, you're in the mindset of being positive about the work that you're doing, no matter how hard it may get, and understanding that you need that balance of, I guess, having all those things kind of centered to prosper in that realm. The other thing too, I think, is that the time can help you focus on your health to be able to create that balance. So it in a way kind of helps you to, like I said, become that ultimate, or at least close to ultimate person that you always wanted to be. And only time can do that. Money can't really do that for you. Now, again, and I want to say this as my last, not big point, but just as a kind of a disclaimer, something that I truly believe. I do think that I understand people's desire to have money, because at least like when you can think in the way of a hustler. I think that I understand people's desire to have money to some extent, because I think that some people do believe, including myself, that money may have the ability to buy you the time to do the things that you want to do, which I truly believe that. But I think that when I speak on these points here, I speak on these points from the perspective of a person who's either not a hustler or wants to be a hustler, and doesn't have the knowledge, does not have the mental knowledge to understand why it's so important, and understand that the same way that I'm thinking. So again, I'm here to help other people who want to live this lifestyle as well too. So that's kind of just where I was going with that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy what I had to say. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. With that being said, I hope you can click that subscribe button, and then share the video as well to whatever platform that you got, and share with your friends so they can kind of get the latest and greatest updates on everything that's going on in the Hustler's Perspective world. If you guys want to go to my Facebook page for the Hustler's Perspective, you can go to the Hustler's Perspective YouTube channel. If you guys want to go to my actual blog where I talk about similar things, you can go to hustlersjackpot.com. If you guys want to go to the Facebook page for the blog, we can go to the Hustlers Jackpot. If you guys want to go to my business page on Instagram, you can go to @the Hustlers Jackpot. And if you guys want to go to my personal page on Instagram, you can go to @Kukolas. With that being said, again, there's going to be a lot more to come. This is, again, video number 3 of 7. Video number 4 is going to be coming tomorrow, so you guys will be able to see that in action and out and everything like that. But keep tuning in. There's going to be a lot more, and it's going to be really interesting, and I'm sure you guys are going to love it. So I will see you guys later. Keep hustling.